Judas Iscariot. I have no idea what the hell this is. Official teaser, official trailer. I guess we're doing official trailer. It's funny because when I wrote in my notes, it auto-corrected to Jurassic Iscariot. I was like, what the hell?
Are you
all right? Is this Furry Judas?
Man who's been inciting my subjects with his
Furry
radical teachings? They call you the Messiah, the Prophet, the Son of God. Is this you?
If you say so.
Okay. Creator of Clicker? What the hell's Clicker?
Tonight, all of you will have your faith in me shaken. Amen, I say to you. One of you will betray me. One who I call my own.
People of Jerusalem, what will you have me do with the King of the Jews?
Abba, my father, why have you forsaken me?
Wake up.
Judas.
Grab your brush, put a little makeup. Kickstarter. Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, maybe people would continue being religious if they made it more furry and cool. Someone says Christians are upset.
Judas.
For God to use anything for I hate to do this, and I don't really have to, but I think there's an opportunity for God to use anything for his glory and to point people to himself. Romans 1 talks about how creation speaks, and because of that, people know God exists. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. Take the anime that you and I enjoy and use it to point people to their need for Jesus. Lately, there's been a rise in creative Christian.
I like the idea of pointing someone to their need for something. Like we're gonna make you discover that you need something.
Content that's not only Christian but also really good. Projects like Gabriel and the Guardians, The House of David, The Chosen, and What Had Happened Was, which is currently in production right now, are setting a new standard for Christian entertainment. Whether that's fiction, drama.
Why are Christians upset?
Oh, hopefully this show, and I don't know if this person's a Christian or not on his page. It doesn't really say so, but
does it matter?
In the Judas Iscariot Instagram page, it has a Matthew verse in it, and so I don't know. I'm hoping that this new animated film will also have that disclaimer as well, but you just never know. And I feel like with the way it's already going, it might not. To be honest, this seems like a cool idea. There are already shows and movies out there with humanoid animals, and it's pretty cool. It's not a new concept. Honestly, a furry adaptation of the New Testament, kind of fire. And I think it's cool in the sense that it might help connect the gospel to the furry community, a real prevalent subculture. Like in Acts 17, where Paul quotes Greek philosophers and poets.
This might unironically turn some furries Christian.
To connect with his audience, or 1 Corinthians, where Paul says he became all things to all people so that he might win some. That doesn't necessarily mean we accept the sinful behavior of people, but using any means to bring the gospel to different communities can be a really, really cool thing. That said, a lot of Christians on Twitter are in an uproar about this film. That's how I found out about it. And while
Okay. Let's see the upside. Why is he not a lion? I was waiting for why are Christians upset at this trailer? Why is it the first words? Why is he not a lion? This is so funny.
They are in an uproar about this film. That's how I found out about it.
No, it's called wanting our faith to be depicted with biblical accuracy, not depicted in any way a person wants it to look. I'm sorry you have trauma from your upbringing in the faith, but that doesn't mean you or anyone else's judgment on the faith as a whole should be the ultimate show more.
And while I do think Christians can sometimes overreact to things,
Sorry, there's a blatant disrespect towards Jesus in this? Blatant disrespect toward Jesus.
I think they have a right to be upset. And here's why I think we have a right to be concerned. And then I'll deleted post. I couldn't find it.
Who cares if they say biblical Yahweh? Oh no, they said the word Yahweh
On the creator's page anywhere.
Do you want more people to be Christian or not? Do you want to keep being lame? Do you want to get your panties in a bunch every time someone says a fucking silly word? But then if Donald Trump says literally anything, like anything way worse than that times infinity a million, nobody cares because it's him? Like, do Christians get to pretend to be offended about anything anymore? Like, Trump's your guy. He's your fucking guy. He's the Christian right now. Christian. Like, you can't pretend to be offended by the word Yahweh.
It was stated that
like you have to give up the pretend offendedness now. You gotta give that up. You can't do that anymore.
Jesus and Judas are in a Yahweh relationship. And for context, Yahweh, also called boys love, is a genre of Japanese media focusing on romantic and often erotic relationships.
I hope this is the gayest Christian furry movie of all time.
Between male characters. And that's already a red flag, mainly because the work of art is supposedly depicting Jesus and not in a way that lines up with any...
Scrap whatever project you were gonna make, retitle it just Gay Jesus. We're crowdfunding Gay Jesus, and he's gonna have a furry dong.
Agreed upon biblical source material. It feels more like it's kind of pushing an agenda under the guise of creative liberty. I don't know. Maybe some people would be like, "Oh, this isn't pushing an agenda," but
it might be pushing an agenda. It might be pushing an agenda if baby Jesus is gay, but it's not pushing an agenda if he's not. This overtly Christian movie, if it's just overtly Christian, that's not pushing an agenda. Suddenly it's pushing an agenda if there's a gay person in it, but otherwise it isn't.
But to be honest,
like, what the fuck? These people are crazy.
Everyone is pushing an agenda.
Thank you. Okay, all right.
In a Q&A, someone asked whether Judas and Jesus would still kiss on the mouth, because I'm guessing they did. The creator said yes, which is interesting. Yes, like Jesus walked closely with his disciples. He lived with them. He ate with them, probably even joked around with them. The gospel doesn't tell us every single detail of Jesus' life. And that does allow creatives to fill in some blanks in like The Chosen or The House of David do. But portraying Jesus in a Yahweh-style romantic relationship changes a major element of how the New Testament depicts Jesus. Like, he had no romantic partners. He didn't show romantic affection. His love was for his bride, the church.
Jesus was aromantic.
Whom he laid his down.
They should give Jesus the aromantic flag.
His life for.
Yeah, and the asexual flag. Yeah, true.
And that is every.
And then see if people get upset about that. Because it's like, what? If you're saying you don't want him to be romantic or sexual, why would you get mad at that?
The one that believes in him and trusts in the finished work on the cross.
Of course they would get mad at it, because it's a new woke thing. Because as soon as you have a new word for something that, even though that's exactly what they wanted to be depicted, if you use the new way to describe it, or like a flag, then it's suddenly bad.
Like, the creator of Judas Iscariot calls it an adaptation of the New Testament, but admits to using outside sources like the Gnostic Gospels, which are widely considered fake and untrustworthy. Even he admits that in the same Q&A, and I do really appreciate that level of honesty and transparency that he's taking it from. Like, at least Christians.
Yeah, Christians. Yeah, you're right. Jesus wasn't this super mega hot white guy with a glowing aura around him at all times. Yeah, that's true.
Viewers,
if there's a Jesus, he wasn't the guy that you see on the bumper stickers.
Won't be blindsided by the details that aren't biblically accurate. But here's the issue. Gnosticism assumes that there's some hidden mystical spiritual knowledge that only a select few people have access to.
I'm going to be getting a call from a doctor soon, so if my phone goes off and I pause the stream, that's why.
True, the biblical gospels were being read, taught, and memorized by the apostles in the early church in the 1st century. The Gnostic texts came later, 2nd century and beyond, and don't carry authority or authenticity for that matter. The creator's main goal seems to be to make the characters feel like real people rather than static religious icons, and I respect that. But when you read the actual gospels, you are reading about real people, not fictional characters. Their emotions, fears, hopes.
Allegedly.
You can see all of that there. You can feel the devastation when the disciples lose their rabbi. You don't need a furry adaptation to experience that death. Even though
No, but you need that for furries to want to care about it.
I like The Chosen, I really like The House of David. You don't
Chosen.
need these shows to show that depth either. So like, although I have serious issues with the trailer, especially the depiction of Jesus and Judas, I do see a sliver of hope though. Even
Make it gayer.
with its flaws, maybe this could lead someone to explore the true Jesus of Scripture. What gives me some hope is that the creator said he's trying to stick to the heart of the text, even if he's straying a bit from this source
Make it
material.
gayer.
And not by arguing mad that Christians for not understanding their communities, yet when Christianity is misrepresented, people don't understand why Christians are upset. It doesn't really add up in its unjust scales. I think like this isn't honestly like, and as someone who enjoys anime and relating anime and appreciates a good Christian like animated story, or because we have to.
All right. Let's see how the Kickstarter's doing. They should have named it Judas is Carrot, and he's a bunny or a horse. Okay. It's made its goal. The film is expected to be 15 to 20 minutes long. Okay. So that's a short. Okay, yeah, I see nothing wrong with this. This is cool. Early access animatic final film. Damn, this is a lot of money for those. Fursona pet cameo. You can be in our movie. You can get your Fursona in the movie. Oh my god. $3,000. Your reference will be redesigned by our team and animated in the background of a minimum of 4 shots in the final film. Only real animal species allowed. Restrictions apply. Updated designs will be included in the art book as well as the finished film. Okay, what about a fat dragon? What about the fattest... Yeah, I want farting fat Bowser in the background of my Jesus movie. Okay, well, still got time to back the project. Assuming Olivia posts this in the next 12 days, then people can back it if they want. I want to see more Fursonas in the movie, so go back it.
Hey everybody, Olivia here. Thanks for watching again. It's May of 2025, so let's speedrun my $5 and up patrons real quick. Michael Bradley, Disrumfold on Letterboxd, Kadarian Winter, Jordan A, Nico Fuentes, James Hooten, Anchorwolf, Arc, Helix, Tammy, Fox64, Osmond, Oh Here She Comes, Modern Nerd, Cypress, Chevenel Goat, Flying Marlin, Lobsterite, Mary Geek, HD Greg, Clarice Carlson, Skanot On, Happy the Knife, www. Fuck me, dude. Ugh. www.openclassactions.com. That is a hard one. Emil, Blank, T-King, Saliv88, Electrica is so bad at games that he beat Celeste Chapter 9 in 98 hours. Mitzi Marcella, yup. Super One Player, Zachary Kane, Gabriel Herrera, and Lemonade Warrior is participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the encroacher. Sorry for the lengthy inactivity. I have been sick for a while now. I caught something at LVFC. Still feel kind of sick, but I'm gonna fucking just plow through it. Alright? Anyway, I also stream on Twitch. I will now show some funny Twitch clips.
Bro thought they were...
Not again, bro.
Man, bro thought they were... Bro thought... Next TikTok.
You wanna try again, buddy?
Time to take this off.
Oh. What the... a grab option. Call me ice climbers because my grab is inescapable. If that looked up your alley, please check me out. Twitch.tv/OliviaMancer. I am also Olivia Mancer on YouTube. Alright. Have a lovely day, everybody.